Before we get into the video, I wanted to share a special tool that David and I have been using for over 2 years to manage our inventory on Amazon. The tool is called SoStocked, and it is a very powerful tool. It's designed specifically for inventory management. If you're in a physical products business selling on Amazon, you need to be in stock, especially with the inventory restrictions lately. This tool is incredibly powerful. If you're having trouble with inventory management, this might be a tool to help you. SoStocked is partnered with Firing Demand, and they've offered our guests, our listeners, a 30-day free trial. So click the link in the video description to get 30-day free trial. On to the video.
Welcome, everyone, to the Firing Demand podcast. On today's episode, we have the honor to interview Jon Weberg. Jon is an American entrepreneur, a top 1% growth consultant, and a business master. After becoming a 2-time self-published author, running 3 separate businesses, and speaking in front of global audiences, his wealth of actionable knowledge is impacting the masses. We are very excited to have Jon on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome. I am ready to deliver all the value I can, and I appreciate you so much for your time.
Absolutely. So to start things off, can you please share with our listeners a little bit about your background and path to becoming an entrepreneur and growth consultant?
I absolutely can, and it's not the usual one. As I got started, I debate when I was 13 years old. My dad says when I was around 10. Around 2008, my dad had 2 offline businesses in our local town of about 10,000 people, 12,000 people. They went bankrupt. Our family moved to someone else's basement in welfare apartments, and my dad eventually turned to digital marketing to get our family out of it. I saw much of the Gary Vee, much of the Frank Kern, much of the lifestyle and the bougie stuff you can get being an entrepreneur, living on your own, being on your own, and that kind of lifestyle, and I wanted that. Now, again, I couldn't legally make money. I wanted a piece of that. So around 13, I got started learning. I actually taught my entire classroom to build their own blogs. I had my own blog. I was building subscribers. I was creating content. Very basic, very on a very beginner, horrible level now I would compare it to. But for a 13-year-old, it wasn't too bad. From there, around 15, I could actually legally make money. And I started my first job at Walmart to fund my business. Made about $2-3 grand, saved over a couple of months, launched my first business, failed miserably, lost it all. But, well, I've got to learn some more stuff because I obviously don't know what I'm doing. Went back to the drawing board, started getting heavily into affiliate marketing, saw some success, started focusing on that, scaling that because, something I'm a proponent of is focus on one thing first. And actually, I believe people should start off. You're going to fire the man. You should start off working at your job. Keep your job. Don't just quit. Keep your job. Get your business to sustain income equal or greater than your job, then quit. I didn't do that though. I quit and thought it would go magically well, and it didn't. Good thing I was living at home because I was 15, 16. But I kept going from there. Around 19, 20, started seeing more success, started speaking, started traveling, got into freelancing, started doing my own design services, started doing consulting. And from there, the success just kind of grew and grew and grew to where I am now. Like I said, I do consulting. I have a business I'm launching soon. I do affiliate marketing passively, and I'm very grateful for the journey that my family repeating cycle of kind of poverty and stuff didn't stick, and that things are a lot different for me now, and it's going pretty good.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing your story, Jon, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners, it's going to inspire them. And so, yeah, I like the hustle starting at a very early age, and so that is good. That there's something there that is deep inside, and it's likely that you were kind of modeling and watching after your father and saying like, hey, this is what he's doing, and kind of But also, I think it's great that you shared with the listeners of your failure. Hey, the first business I launched
did not work,
failed miserably. I went back to the drawing board. This is something that we don't hear enough of entrepreneurs talking about, and I think young entrepreneurs that are first starting out, they might have this vision to where the first thing they launch is going to be successful and they're just going to ride off into the sunset. It's not a series of failures.
Yeah, not at all. And I think it's because of that grandeur vision, and because it's so hyped, and because there is so much success you see, no one ever sees anything in between the stages usually. Unless you're following some really small content creator, you only see the millions of dollars, the traveling, the jets, the whatever. So we think that it's, when you first get started, that's like you get started and then that's the next step is that. There's no in between work, hustle, grind, losing thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you name it. I think what drew me through, a lot of it was, yes, the dream, but also I think what some people have, but they're just scared to take action on, whether it's quitting their job or pursuing a business, is I was afraid of living through what my parents were living through for longer. And I was afraid of, the rest of my life, I don't want to be like for going to college. I was scared of going to college because I'm a personality. I don't like being told what to do. I'm a personality. I'm a very independent, free thinker. So I don't want to have someone else dictating what to do. I don't want to go to school for 3 years. I don't want to go through the cycle. I want to get started with success now, which obviously didn't work out initially, but eventually. So I was afraid of the poverty. I was afraid of going through the pain and seeing what my parents were going through. Their divorce was happening at the time as well. It was kind of a rough time period, but it worked out for the better because I made the leap early, and not everyone gets that advantage, but making the leap and just going, the alternative is doing what I'm not happy with already. So I might as well do something that probably going to enjoy, or at least I'll learn some life skills in the process. Maybe it will fail. Maybe I would never become successful, but my communication skills or my negotiating skills are at least 5 times better. I can use that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you were mentioning it in stages, early stage, successful stage, and then everything in between, I think is where the growth happens. Learn and you fall forward to do all that and hone your skills, build your skill set. So yeah, no, it's a great story. Let's get right into it. What are some business hacks that that aren't commonly taught or talked about?
So one of them, that's my favorite. Most people just don't do, but you need to do. It's common practice. I'm going to add a level of, it's not common practice, but I'm going to ingrain it in your audience's ears to actually do it, and then a way to do it exceptionally well. And that is follow-up. Follow-up is the biggest name of the game. Even if you're in e-commerce, whether you're e-commerce, not e-commerce, it doesn't matter. Lead gen and following up with those leads is your first priority. Most likely, again, I believe in e-commerce, that's less of a priority because you're probably sending people direct to the cart, direct to checkout. But if you can gather that lead in the process or before, usually with a giveaway, with a discount, there's a variety of different things you can do with that to make sure you're gathering the lead first. That should always be a priority because the vast majority of people seeing any checkout cart of any kind aren't going to buy initially, and it converts at a much higher rate. 99% of the cases I've ever seen always gather the lead first in some way, then get to the sale. Because you can follow up and build a relationship versus just selling. E-commerce is a little different, but there's still some ways you can do it. So first of all, I'll say follow up, build your email list. Now, follow-up is uncommon practice, but commonly taught. But there's a way you can do follow-up better that converts at a much, much, much higher rate. Because, and I think this is especially in e-commerce, I may be wrong, but I think most people do this in business, is when they're following up with a lead, a prospect, a customer to get them to buy the first time or to buy again, go back to the checkout cart, you name it, we always focus on just closing and just selling. So we want to lead with a deal, we want to lead with a discount, we want to lead with a buy one, get one free offer, we want to lead with some kind of a bonus incentive. But what we lack, especially in today's world, as we're getting more technological, and I actually don't like it, but it's kind of how the world's going, is we lack actually what I call human marketing, a human touch in all of our follow-up, in all of our marketing, in all of our sales. We don't actually focus on why people, what one of the things is that makes people buy in the first place. And that's one, of course, their need, but also avoiding pain, the pleasure points they're seeking, but also people keep buying from. The long term is what you always want to do in business. Long term of your leads, long term of your customers. People keep buying from brands that build an actual relationship with them. For example, you take a look at kind of in the e-commerce cycle, you take a look at Purple mattresses. You take a look at some of their ads, take a look at some of their marketing. It's hilarious. The Sasquatches and the mom and the three laundry. And if there's anyone who hasn't seen them yet, look up Purple, look up Squatty Potty, look up, I think it's Poopery. Look up a few of these different brands. Look at their very fun, exciting, funny, humorous, personality, human marketing driven ads, their marketing, their lead gen, and their follow-up. And it converts really high and it makes doing business more fun. So with that being said, in your follow-up, and I would even advise in your ads, in your lead gen, anything you're doing, focus on following up in 3 different ways. Enticing, which is the deals, the discounts. Those things are good. You shouldn't stop doing them. We also have educating. So how-to videos of how the product works, how it helps them, etc. All the way to guides, ebooks, resources, training, you name it. That's educating. You have enticing, which is deals, discounts, and you have entertaining, which is storytelling, which is funny stuff, which is skits, which is music videos, the creative stuff that builds your brand, that allows you to scale faster because of word of mouth, and that converts much higher because you're actually building a relationship. When you combine those 3 things, entertaining, enticing, and educating, follow-up, ads, marketing, lead gen, you name it, and you combine them together and use them in unison versus just get this deal, get this discount, use this promo code, you name it, everything converts so much higher. And you're going to see a lot more sales with a lot less leads because you're doing what you should be by offering an amazing deal, but you're also building a real tangible relationship with your audience at the same time.
I like those. Those are high level.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I try to talk as little as possible, but there's so many different intricate things that you get to. It's just...
Yeah, this is the spot. This is the spot to share those things. So moving on, how can you increase business profits without having to spend any additional capital?
This is where all the gravy is, because most people think that they just need more leads. Most people think I just need more leads. I get more leads, or if I find the secret lead lead source, I'll do great. The vast majority of nearly every business I've either consulted for, I've worked with, I've been inside of, I've taken a look at, they're just leaking sales constantly. One, because they don't have any follow-up in place, but two, because they're not optimizing for checkout order bumps, optimizing for upselling, reselling, downselling, optimizing for anything from following up better, from everything I just went through, from editing your content people are seeing, from the lead gen you're doing, and actually filtering out your audience you don't want, because that's a huge reason why people get a lot of leads but no one buys. It's because they are creating lead generation and advertising that's attracting everyone possible in their market, which you don't actually want because of chargebacks, because of refunds, because of customer complaints, support, you name it. You actually want to create messaging in your advertising that filters out people who you don't want, that only filters in very strictly the most long-term, high-retention customer possible. By optimizing and thinking about how can I improve what I already have, not just generate more leads, not just spend more money on ads, because that's what most people go to. And maybe if I do a different ad creative, it's a good idea, but first fix, most likely what you already have isn't going to convert that well, even if you drive leads and drive your audience to it. So fine-tune and optimize your messaging, fine-tune and optimize your checkout cart, upsell process, downsell process as much as you possibly can. Take a look at your follow-up, like I mentioned already. Basically, build the most human, marketing-based, creative, engaging, rewarding sales process and customer experience possible. And then increase what you're spending on your marketing. But first, optimize, all the fundamentals. And most people don't do this. You create your ads, you create your sales process, you get a few sales, you try to ramp it up, it doesn't work. You try a new ad, it doesn't work. You increase your lead gen, it doesn't work. Most people it's because you do have something that would work, but you haven't optimized it, you haven't fine-tuned it and really made it an enjoyable, high-converting experience for everyone who's going to go through it. So that's kind of a few things people can do, along with, real quickly as well, upselling as much as possible. That's something huge that I don't see enough, whether it's SaaS, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's you name it. People generate their first customers and they don't do anything with them. They don't follow up with them. They don't communicate in any way with them to get them to buy higher priced services, higher priced products. And if they do that, they do it one time with, a couple things here and there, but they don't truly keep selling these other products and services. And the reason when you do that, not just to make money, but to also serve your customers more with other products and services that are actually going to help them. Because your job as a business is to help as much as possible your customers. The more you do that by actually selling more than one thing or a few things, and you keep fine tuning that process, it just converts a lot more. And doing all this, you don't have to spend as much money as you think on your business when you're creating the best process possible first.
Follow-up question here. You talk a lot about fine-tuning and identifying areas where you're weak to improve them. Is there a metric that you're looking at? Or if somebody has a D2C website and they've set up their initial pages, their checkout process, how do they identify what areas would yield the best results in terms of I should focus on my checkout process or upsells?
So there's a few main ones that I'm mostly concerned with that I think are the biggest priority. The first one is lead to sale conversion rate. The lead you are generating, or if you're more, e-commerce-ish, view to sale conversion rate. You want to get that as high as possible, along with your customer retention, which is the king of all. That's the most important to me. The king of all profit is how long you retain and get people to buy again and again and again and again. So that's the second one, which is probably the most important. And also, again, probably upsell resellability. So your sale to resell conversion rate. So lead or view to sale conversion rate, your percent of people who buy initially who buy a second time, because that leads to more and more sales, way more lifetime value of customer, higher customer retention, everything else too. And then just your overall customer retention. How you improve these metrics, for example, if you want to improve how much you're generating per customer on average, by split testing your landing pages or what you're directing people to from any lead generation you're doing to the checkout cart or the sales page, you name it, that they're seeing. You want to split test your headlines. You want to split test any checkout cart buttons if you can. Checkout cart buttons are huge. Social proof next to checkout cart buttons or CTAs is important. Adding social proof wherever you can is a good hack for increasing conversion rates nearly across every part, follow up your ads, etc. If you want to increase as well customer retention, making sure your customers are getting the most relative and highest quality product and services that help them in the most best ways they want, that are really, really, again, super good quality product and services, that will help with retention massively. Following up more, especially it's more in the agency world, but overall in business. If an agency or someone who's selling high ticket follows up within, I believe it is 10 minutes of someone becoming a lead or a customer, the customer is 4 times more likely to buy or multiple times more likely to stay a customer. So if, for example, you're running ads, you're having people go through your checkout carts, they're purchasing, even sending just a thank you message within 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or having that automated, which is the best thing to do, having that automated in some way, not just a here's your receipt, something meaningful, and you can design that to be meaningful for people, that alone will increase many of these different metrics by far. A lot of it comes down to being creative, doing split testing, accurately tracking. So when you are doing split testing, you're able to see what actually isn't working, and just focusing on how can I make this more engaging? How can I make my entire process more valuable? How can I make my customers feel more listened to, more loved? Which is not a word most people, think about. Make your customers feel loved, engaged, and they will be loyal forever, and your business will be extremely profitable, and you'll help a lot of people.
I totally agree. That's excellent advice. One question, Jon, if someone's listening and maybe they have just started in e-commerce and they found a couple of products that they're selling. I always use water bottles. I don't know why, but we'll just say water bottle. And so they found a water bottle and it's selling well, and they want to expand. And so all of what you're talking about is the branding and remarketing and keeping them repurchasing. Now, how would you go about building out a catalog of products that is the same customer avatar? But what is your process on doing that? How to select more stuff that customer would want?
Right. So it has to very closely relate to the product in question while be in a upsell or downsell process that makes sense according to the pricing of the original product. So say, for example, we start with a water bottle. If your customer avatar is someone who's drinking a water bottle, maybe you're kind of towards the health and wellness niche. You could kind of assume, it depends on who you're marketing to, but let's just go with you're in the health and wellness niche. You would also possibly assume that they would like some kind of workout gear or some kind of workout optimizing service. Okay, so then you find maybe not directly in e-commerce, other closely related industries, types of product and services you can resell as an affiliate, as a partner, you name it. So I take a look at pricing. So for example, say the water bottle was $7 or $20. I'd want a subscription service probably around $30 to around even $90 or so. That would be another product I could sell them. If I was doing another one-time off, a close related product, such as if you're selling a water bottle, if it was some kind of workout gear, if it was something for really closely related, something that's usable, consumable with this main product they've already sold. So for example, if I sold a water bottle, a hydration or something with protein to mix in with that water or whatever they're going to be putting in that water bottle would also be a very good upsell. So that would also be within price range of, supplements from hydrating. I think UV is what it's called for hydration. And a protein powder goes from, probably $10 for powders all the way up to $50 and a higher end, $100 plus. So I would want to lay out closely related products that are consumable, going to most likely create repeat buyers, because the repeat buyer customer retention market is the biggest of what you want. Hopefully consumable products that are close in price with the initial product and service in question. And then from there, you want to keep staggering it up in pricing to even up to a few $1,000s or more. So you could go from a water bottle to supplements to powder to coaching service for fitness to a Peloton bike, just throwing things out there. But in general, it could be you can even make a partnership with a gym to refer them customers if you're doing more local. There's a bunch of different things you can do. But in general, stagger pricing, make sure it's in the upsell fashion, and make sure it's reusable, consumable, high retention products is going to be what you really, really want. And then of course, your front end product and services, I think, are the most important, because that's going to be the default customer experience a lot of the time for the rest of whether or not they're going to buy from you, is the first interaction they get. So if something's selling really well, you think it's going to be good, you offer it to your audience, you know they're going to really, really love it, find the next close in pricing products and test those out. And then what I would also advise too is test two different products. So say, for example, you started off with a water bottle and you want to offer some kind of hydration mix-in or some kind of energy mix-in, coffee mix-in, you name it. Find two closely related, closely priced, and see, okay, if I upsell or resell or send these people from the water bottle or retarget them or you name it to buy one of these other ones, which one converts the highest for checkout and which one also brings in the most repeat orders over a certain time period. Least amount of chargebacks, least amount of refunds, stick with that one. And now you have a winner of two you've tested, and you keep doing that with another higher priced product. Again, use two at once, but test, find the better one, go to the next one, and repeat.
I really like that strategy. Thank you. Explaining that out. We've covered a lot of like upsells and order bumps and things like that. Are there any other processes or ways to optimize a business that produces the maximum profit that you haven't talked about yet?
We kind of went through most of them. Those are the main ones. And what people don't realize realize, I think this is maybe the most important messaging about all of it. Everything I'm talking through is do one of them. That's the biggest thing about people who go to events, and I go to events, I speak at masterminds, you name it. When you buy a course, when you buy a guide on how to improve your business, how to improve, you name it, just do one thing, because it's the biggest thing in every industry, whether someone's trying to lose weight, gain muscle, whether someone's trying to build a business, make more love with their spouse, you name it, it does not matter. Trying something and not being afraid to try that one thing is going to be the biggest difference. And not being afraid to try something, because the alternative is you're stuck where you're at, or you're going to fail an experiment for years and years and years. Just try one of them. See how it goes. Doesn't work, get over it, move on, decide, you know what, I need to try another thing and see how it works. Because that's the whole entire journey of entrepreneurship, is constantly experimenting, trying new things, of course, trying to do what works best, what's going to convert best. But with all the strategy and advice I've given, you really actually don't know until you actually try something. There are, of course, adding an upsell in general, optimizing your checkout carts, following up more. It's going to improve things. So try one, do the next, and keep doing that, because the biggest thing people do is they keep learning, they keep buying new courses. Like I said, they keep on that spin wheel of changing their mindset, changing their things, and trying to learn as much as possible without applying anything, and then nothing happens. And that's the biggest thing I come across when I work with people, is a lot of times they actually know what they need to do to get more leads or to increase the quality of the leads, you name it, but they're not applying it because they go, well, they just feel lazy for a while, or they just are afraid to try it. They don't know what the outcome's going to be. Is if you don't do anything, why did you buy the thing in the first place? You have to try it. And that's kind of the biggest thing, because we've went through so many different things that are going to help people, but mainly try it. Don't be afraid. My biggest thing, I have a phrase, not really a phrase, but something I always live by, is I'm never afraid to ask a question, and I'm never afraid to try something. And again, the reason why is the worst thing that can happen is someone says no, or the thing doesn't work out. The greatest thing that can happen is something absolutely incredible. For example, we don't have to talk about it yet, but with a platform I'm launching, I reach out to some pretty big companies for partners. One, I didn't expect this, but about 50% of the companies reply and answer, which is really great. These are pretty big B2C/B2C deals. And as well, some of them have like a few million customers already. So being able to partner with one of them, if I reach out to 100 companies and one says yes to partner with me, we can send each other customers, and they have a million customer database. That single deal is going to bring me massive results. And it's because I don't know who's going to answer. I don't know who's going to collaborate with me, but if I try, someone's going to say yes eventually. And that's kind of my whole motto. I'm willing to do anything to make it work, and at least try it. If it fails, I'll find something else.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's really good advice. We've touched a little bit on email marketing, but I'd like to spend a little bit more time here. So what are some of the best unknown email marketing practices that you teach?
Again, with email marketing, it is the golden goose. Lead gen and following up. Email marketing especially, you can do text, you can do prompts and stuff, and you can do display notifications on the phone. But email marketing is, to date, first of all, the highest converting form of marketing there is. Every year by year, because everyone still uses email. You use it for your job. A lot of cases, you have your work email, you have a social email, you probably have multiple. I have 7 emails. So email marketing is the highest form of follow-up there is, converting form, and it's the most used. Secondly, when you are following up, like we've already went through, the entertaining, enticing, educating, especially with email marketing, is going to convert the highest. There's another level of this. You can do list segmentation, you can do list personalization. There's a bunch we could eventually go down. But what I would love to talk about mainly is using multiple sales pages per product or offer you are trying to sell. One of the biggest things that we do a lot in marketing, say someone subscribed to my email list, and whether it's a newsletter, whether it's from a discount code they got on my site, it could be an e-commerce, SaaS, you name it. And when they opt in, there's an email sequence we usually have them go through, a 7-day, 21-day, you name it. And we keep sending them to buy that first product and service. Maybe it's for 7 emails. Then we switched up and send them to a different product and service. Maybe all 21 emails are going to that one product and service. The issue that we all make, most people make, I try to help people with this, is we send them to the same sales page with the same checkout cart over and over and over again. Here's the same message, get a discount, go to the sales page. Here's a bonus, go to the sales page. Maybe you're doing entertaining, enticing, and educating, all those types of follow-up, but you send them to the same sales page. The problem with that is, yes, your follow-up is varying, but the page you're sending them to is not. So some people will buy because of the varied messaging. But some people will still not buy because you keep sending them to the same offer. So I advise, and this converts very highly, especially in the affiliate marketing I've done, and this should work in every industry, is you create 3 to 5 different sales pages per offer or per product you're selling. So if you have a lead-in product, for example, for a water bottle or for you name it, I would create 3 to 5 different sales pages. So you have your main sales page or your main checkout cart, you're going to direct them to. You split test this, you optimize this. This is what you send. Your traffic traffic and your lead gen to in the vast majority of your marketing. However, in your follow-up, in your email marketing, you also use 2 or 3 other sales pages that are more hyper-focused on different aspects of relating to your audience as much as possible. So for example, maybe one sales page is just a lot of social proof, testimonials, live people using the product or service. That's all that page is about. And the next page, maybe it's just about the benefits and covering the pain points. You name it, you want to have focused, highly other focused sales pages or checkout carts. If you can create a variety, in some industries it's a little bit harder, but you got to be creative. If you can do this, you will notice that your follow-up, your email marketing, and all of your marketing converts much higher because along with the entertaining, enticing, and educating follow-up and messaging you're using, you're not sending someone to the same pitch. Buy now, this is really cool. Buy now, this is really cool. The 20th time you send someone to that, buy now, it's really cool, that's not going to change their view. Maybe the follow-up will, but if you want it to be extremely effective, use a different sales page with a different focus, and then that entire page is focusing just on, it could be even just one pain point or one pleasure point. This converts extremely highly. If done right, it will see a huge lift in checkout cart orders, in conversion rates, you name it, because again, your job with follow-up is to build a relationship, sell from a variety of ways that relate to each lead audience member on your list, in your audience, and also to the different types of personalities, because what we've gotten away from in a lot of marketing and a lot of sales is actually relating to what people relate to, human marketing, and building like know and trust with them. And you do that through a variety of follow-up and through a variety of actual sales pages and sales pitches and offers. You're saying to people as you relate to people who are more social, people who want to see social proof. Some people like stats and figures. Some people like seeing the product used. You name it. The more you can relate with them, with your follow-up, with your sales process, with all these different things, conversions go through the roof. Again, try it. Try seeing if you make, I was selling a water bottle. I would make a story, a sales page with the VSL. It could go to the checkout cart. It could go to Amazon. It could go anywhere. But I would send them to a page. I could just walk them through the story of why, if I made the bottle myself, or I talk with the distributor and find out how they made it, walk through the quality of the water bottle, or walk through a story, shoot your own mini documentary of some woman hiking up a hill, the sun's setting, she's drinking it, and she's refreshed. You know, there's so many different marketing, creative things you can do. Doing this with any product, if you be creative with it, things will convert more, you'll sell more people, and your marketing will actually work, and then you can actually start doing all these things we're talking about, really reinvest in ads, reinvest in growth, reinvest in lead generation, because you're making so much money from your current audience and from your email list that's converting so much higher. You're getting way more profit that you can reinvest in ads and better team members and outsourcing, all types of things.
Yeah, I like that. That's something I just took some notes down here. I'm gonna test that out and see what happens there.
Real quickly before go on, I hate to interrupt you. This works. I've tested it. A good social proof of it. In my affiliate marketing, there's a lot of JV launches of different products, different services, new products all the time in my industry. Among the like 3 or 4 I'm kind of in. We outcompete people who have 10 times the size of email list, 10 times the size of the brand easily, because we do all these different things, because we focus truly on building relationship, doing everything we've walked through. When there's a launch, we either outcompete or we get pretty damn close to doing just as good as people who have much larger audiences. They've been in the industry for much longer. They're a much bigger name. And this is also, I'm saying this for people who are going, well, I'm competing with all these other Amazon influencers or these other people or these other brands. You are. But the vast majority of marketing, sales, and all communication out there is hot garbage and doesn't relate and doesn't build a relationship. So if you do these things I'm telling you, you will actually build a relationship and a brand and liking with people. And regardless of their size, they don't have the quality of the follow-up of the sales process of all these other things that you can use to get them to buy. If you're just creative, you think outside the box, and you use your passion to help fuel that too.
No, that's excellent. So a couple more things I want to cover. So a bit of a pivot here. This is a question that David and I, we get asked all the time. And so I'm interested in hearing your take and your spin on it. And so when someone asks you, how can I start a business with little to no capital? What is your response to them?
I'll use my story. I got started from my family living in someone's basement in welfare apartments. And I was like 10. My dad says 10. I was 13 years old. There's people who are in India who have no arms and legs that are literally crawling on the ground and selling, out of the super sad video I watched, of selling oranges on the side of the road. You have to just, if you have a job, work overtime. I'm pivoting as well because I think you need to, one, get past yourself, get past your fear. You have to just do it. One, if you want to do it, prepare for it excellently. By one, if you have a job, work overtime, try to get hired to a better position, try to make more money. If you can transfer to another company, make more money, work at a different company, get paid as much as you can from your job as possible to fuel this. Number two, you have so much more time on your hands than you think. Stop gaming. I game all the time. I game way too much. Every time it snows, it's Minnesota. I live in Minnesota. It snows. I feel like playing Skyrim because Skyrim is filled with the Nordic snow. So I literally start playing for hours on end. Stop gaming. Stop going on your phone. Stop scrolling on TikTok. Create your own content. What I advise along with this is realize you have more time than you think. You can probably find the money. Stop consuming and start creating. So whether it's ads, whether it's content, whether it's videos, whether it's shorts, whether it's reels, whether it's you name it, stop being a consumer. Like when I go hardcore business mode and I want to generate leads, generate more presence, what I do is I'm not going to go on my phone or I'm not going to go on my computer or do any extracurriculars unless it is making me money, unless it is starting, growing my business or working with another business. That's all I'm doing. So one, if you really can't afford it, find other ways to make more money with what you're already doing. Two, if you really can't afford it and you don't have the money, in a lot of cases can get started without any money, especially in affiliate marketing, especially in e-commerce, especially with Amazon, especially with these different things. KDP, you actually don't need money. What you need to do is invest your time to generate leads and an audience you generate profit from that you then will have money from to reinvest and grow the business. So one, don't give excuses. Two, if you are giving excuses, find a way to make more money. Number three, if you really don't have money, and I've been there, I've done that twice when I was around 20, I spent a little too much money on traveling for my business and I was paying for my girlfriend who wasn't working and a bunch of other things. I didn't have a lot of money. I had to re-get the business going again. If you don't have any money, find a way to get the money. Stop spending your time consuming, create. Combine these things together. If you were to hyper-focus your attention, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm going to create this business where I'm going to get started with KDP or get started with Amazon, e-commerce, you name it. If you have some money, or you can find just a little bit to invest just in some growing your audience, or you name it. Otherwise, use your time to make something happen and realize that it's just another excuse because people all across the world of all walks of life can do it. People who are blind, there's people who does affiliate marketing who's on my email list who contacts us because he's blind, but he operates online, which I don't actually know how that works because he can't see anything, but he does it and he's somewhat successful. So don't give excuses. Just try it. You fail, try again. You fail, try again. Because being an entrepreneur it can be the most difficult journey of your life, but it can also be the most rewarding. And if I would have quit any time since I was 10 to 13 to 25 now, I would have regretted it the rest of my life because I didn't try it out and because of the people I've met, because of the experiences I've had, because of everything that's happened. I'm blessed, thank God. And things usually work out as long as you keep trying, you keep pushing, you find a way to make something work.
Let's chat about Profitalize. What is Profitalize and what clients do you serve?
I hate to say everyone, but I gotta say everyone in the starting, growing, or optimizing a business of some kind. Profitalize is, I'll do a very quick story. So as you go through as being an entrepreneur, as you go through starting a business in any industry, any niche, you're always having to learn new things. You're having to learn how to generate new leads. You're having to learn how to follow up better. You're having to learn how to find better product, how to find business partners, how to expand, find money, investing. There's so many different parts of entrepreneurship that never ends. And I realized I created the idea when I was about 15. Like, what if there was one place you could go where you could learn anything you will ever need as a business owner, and you as well had done for you templates you can use, you had people walking you through how to generate leads that would basically remove all the excuses of being an entrepreneur or being a very skilled entrepreneur and making great money on growing your business. What if it was all in one place? You had a community, peer-to-peer community that could support you, back you up. You have any questions you ever needed, get immediate answers, you name it. I've created Profitalize as the all-in-one training, community, template resource that any business owner can go to get any of these questions answered at any point. So there's done for you training, questions they can ask in the live community. If they want just to copy done for you templates for AI prompts for anything, you name it, they can do that. It's just a home. It's a home for all entrepreneurs of every skill level, whether you're a beginner, whether you're an expert. It's the home that I think we need as entrepreneurs because one, there is right now, and there never really has been, a real strong community for entrepreneurs that's like unifying and that isn't competing with anyone. It's all, every type of business working together. And number two, there's never been a place you could go to for all the answers. You know, there's YouTube, which is great. I've learned a lot from YouTube for free. There's a lot from courses. There's a lot from masterminds. There's a lot from you name it, but why not have it all in one single place? Launches tomorrow with something that's happening. So it launches tomorrow. It's going to be something I spend the rest of my life building because I think if I can serve my need that I had, that every single entrepreneur of every kind goes through, of every business size, whether it's corporate, non-corporate, you name it, I think that would be powerful in the money it can generate and also on how it can actually help people.
That's awesome. Really cool.
Thank you.
And we'll put, if you're driving, don't try to write anything down. We're going to put all the links in the show notes at the end. So we'll have a direct link for you. So Jon, we send all of our guests through the ringer. It's called the fire round, and it's a lightning round of a series of questions. We rapid fire. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
What is your favorite book?
Ooh, Tony Robbins. I can't say specifically because I forgot the names, but anything by Tony Robbins, how he does mindset and how he thinks about it and talks about it, amazing.
Yeah, next level. What are your hobbies?
I game way too much. I go to the gym. I need to go to the gym more. I was fantastic. So gaming, gym, and I try to eat carnivore as much as possible. I make a mean brisket and pork butt.
Nice. I like it. What is one thing that you do not miss about working for the man?
Working on my own time constantly. If someone needs help, I can go help them. Someone wants to move something at their house, I can go move. Someone wants to go party, I can go party. The time freedom is next level, especially when you get a business that's doing pretty decent. It's amazing.
Yeah, totally agree. What do you think sets apart successful entrepreneurs from those who give up, fail, or never get started?
Applying and learning of knowledge at a fast enough pace. That is number one. If you can apply what you learn and learn as much as possible from as many great people as possible and immediately apply it, test it, and having a set of ho-hos, not afraid of risk, going all out. I was thinking of a way to phrase that correctly. And just not quitting and realizing you can do it and believing in yourself, because often entrepreneurship, the biggest thing is no one will support you as much as you can support yourself. That will be your entire journey, no matter who you are with, who you're dating, who you're married, all on you. And that can be an amazing thing if you let it.
Jon, want to thank you for being a guest on the Firing the Man podcast. If people are interested in working with you as a consultant or want to check out Profitalize, what would be the best way?
Go to either jonweberg.com if you're interested in consulting, coaching, etc. Go to profitalize.com if you want more affordable community aspect. Basically like having a consultant, but not spending $5,000 or $10,000 on it, which is amazing a month. And then as well, if you want to learn for free, learn more about me, just go to YouTube, look up Jon Weberg, watch my videos, learn as much as you can for free. I do a lot of non-promotion, just value, give. And I hope I was able to do that here. And I as well appreciate both your time. I appreciate the audience's time. And I hope at some point, whether you're listening or whether it's you guys, I'm able to meet you in person, have some drinks, or just talk some business or make some carnivore food.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jon, and looking forward to staying in touch.
Thank you as well.
Thanks for watching this video. If you got some value out of this, would you please hit the like and subscribe button? This is a free way to support the show, and it really helps us build our audience.